Hello, my name is Carol Walling, and I'm an Instructional Effectiveness Specialist here at Baker College Online and Center for Graduate Studies. I would like to thank you for attending this Ready, Set, Go quarter to semester professional development session. In this session, we will talk about things in 4 areas. Before getting ready, where we talk about things before we dive in, like calendars and things like that. We'll talk about getting ready, the new things in the navigation bar, clickable rubrics, that kind of thing. Getting set, where we'll talk about faculty expectations, adding resources, and going, where you're launching the course for your students. Our presentation objectives are: get ready, where we detail steps to prepare and plan for your course; getting set, where we walk through the requirements for setting up your course; getting going, helping build confidence for the quarter to semester transition at Baker College. So our semester is shifting now. So our courses have been redesigned and revised. They simply have not been stretched across 2 more weeks of instruction. Actually, they've been redesigned by course builders, course designers. So make sure when you get into your class after it's been loaded to look around at the new things, look around at the new assignments, so that you can adjust announcements and discussion questions, discussion activities, or anything else that you'd like to place in your course. Your courses are now going to be 8 weeks and have 2 sessions per semester. The course content and the Blackboard appearance have changed, and I'll make sure to show you what that new shell looks like. The course setup timeline, due dates, and deadlines have also changed, so as we move through this, make sure that you're adding things to your calendar that have changed. Just so you know, fall semester starts on August 28th, so make sure you mark that down on your calendar as well. This is another big change for us. We have our module weeks, which run from Monday to Sunday now. So you're going to have to adjust where you're grading and setting time aside to teach and get into that classroom, because we're not running from Thursday to Wednesday anymore. Here is our new academic calendar for the 2017-2018 year. You'll notice that our fall classes start on August 28th, and then that first session ends October 22nd. Then that second session begins on October 23rd. Now, if you've read ahead of me a little bit, you'll notice that we have a little bit of a break at the holiday time in December, and we have a spring break. So that'll be something new that we get this year. You'll also notice, if you scroll down a little bit, that we have a fall, spring, and summer semester. We no longer have a winter quarter. So that's another change. Getting ready. In this area, we'll talk about the changes to the navigation bar. We'll talk about clickable rubrics. We'll talk about that initial course setup. The navigation bar has some interesting changes and additions for our new course shells. In the Start Here area, we have a video for you. And we also have the online syllabus and the assignment summary. And you'll notice those headings look a little different now, and that's what you'll see when you log into the course. Here's our assignment summary. It still has 1,000 points per class, and that's standardized across the system. So make sure you get into your new class and look at where the points have been redistributed and what new assignments you may have. We also have a section in our navigation bar on netiquette. So when you have those situations in your classroom, either if it's between students and students or you and your students, you have resources available to offer for those situations, and they're located right in your class. We also have new service tabs where we have Student Academic Services and the IT Solutions Center located right into our classroom navigation bar. At the bottom, you'll see that we have resources with the Learning Support Center, the library, the BC Writing Guide, and the APA Guide. These are all located in the navigation bar on the left-hand side of your class, so we no longer have to send our students for these types of things to the APA Help or the My Baker Help. If you look here, you'll see when we click into the modules area, we get the instructor resources, which is a really great area full of resources for your classroom, the course fix feature, and the instructor requirements. This area also includes the Quality Matters checklist of things that you might want to pay attention to as you're creating things in your class. So make sure to check out this area. If you scroll back up, you'll notice that there's a Teaching Resources tab. In this area, you'll see that there are a lot of different resources, activities, suggestions, hints, that kind of thing for you to teach in your class. So this is also another really great area if you're looking for some help to teach in your class, for some ideas on what you can do with your students. Another thing that's changed in our course shells is the name module. Previously in the quarter version of our shells, it was called seminar. But it's still the same. Each module defines a week in your classroom, and it offers you this nice grid and infographics to help guide you on what's going to be happening in your classroom for a week. So in this module, you'll see that we have a nice grid and infographics to help you and students know what's coming for this week. The book is what is required for the reading. The question mark may be what is a discussion question that is suggested for your class, or the book and the pencil is what our assignments are due that week. In the semester version of our classrooms, there are going to be clickable rubrics in almost every class. So if they're not attached to your assignment or in your assignment submission folder, you'll want to make sure you know where to find them. So make sure you go to the course material, then go to Tools. Then once you get to Tools, you'll have a rubrics tab which you'll click on, and you'll see this. You'll see a list of rubrics. Then this screen will actually show you what it looks like in your grade center. You'll want to click on this small tab where the arrow is showing to open up a clickable rubric where you can enter grades and individualize feedback for your students on assignments. If you have any questions whatsoever on creating or using clickable rubrics, please contact Julia Kiter, the other Instructional Effectiveness Specialist here at Baker Online, or myself, and we'll be more than happy to help you. The initial course setup for semesters is a little different. So the courses will load 23 days prior to the course start date. Your course must be set up 15 days prior to the course start date, or else you're going to get an email about not being set up and possibly being reassigned. So make sure you mark those 2 dates on your calendars. The initial course setup checklist was previously known as the course readiness checklist. The name may have changed, but the document has not. So make sure that you still set up your announcements with your welcome announcement advising students of where to locate the classroom policies and syllabus. Make sure you create your faculty information in that faculty bio tab on the left-hand side of your navigation bar, where you create a profile with your contact info, your biography, and a photo if you so choose. You also need to make sure you get into that module area and look around to make sure everything's good, because these classes have all been redesigned, so we're hoping that they're all good, but you never know. You are a front line of defense. And get in there. If your program director wants you to time release, then this is where you would do that and make sure that's ready to go for your students. Also, you need to set up your discussion board with the modules set up to time release with opening threads and activities. You'll also need to make sure that, if you've set anything to grade in that discussion board, that you check that grade center to make sure you still have 1,000 points in your class. And then finally, you'll still need to make sure you have your engagement expectations listed somewhere in the course, whether it's in your announcements or your discussion board, or even if you reiterate it in the grade center, make sure they're somewhere. In the Getting Set area, we're going to talk about 3 things: the course readiness checklist, faculty expectations, and adding resources and materials. If we go into the modules area, you'll notice that we have the instructor resources area where we've already kind of looked. But if you scroll down, you'll notice that there's an instructor requirements where there's a Quality Matters rubric and this document here. The system liked our name, the Course Readiness Checklist, so they took this and created this document. But this is not something that you need to use to get ready for your course. It's something that it's almost like a guideline where you need to make sure you have this kind of to the side of your computer and your desk that you use as a reference when putting things into your class, just so you can create that wonderful, dynamic, but still very accessible learning environment for your students. So when you're creating your announcements or your discussion posts, are you adding colors, graphics, and fonts? Make sure that you're using something that is easy for screen readers or easy to see for colorblind students. So just make sure you keep the things that are on this chart in mind when you're creating things throughout your class. Next, we will look at the faculty expectations designed to communicate the set of guidelines for each faculty here at Baker College Online and Center for Graduate Studies. The expectations are organized chronologically to help guide you from your contractual agreement to the first day of class to wrapping up your course. One of the biggest changes is our expectations of faculty in regards to their participation and engagement within the course and the discussion board. So make sure you check that out, because we're expecting you to be in the discussion board, engaging throughout the week, throughout the beginning, the middle, and the end, and with individual students multiple times throughout the week, so you can make sure that you're supporting them in a quality learning environment. Make sure that you read this document carefully, because there's other changes that you'll need to know about. When adding resources and materials to the modules, if you're that kind of instructor that might want to add supplemental articles or videos, try not to do it in the grid, because it can get really funky and wonky just with formatting and everything. So I suggest building content and then having it be located underneath the grid in the modules. And that way it won't mess up that formatting. You won't have to worry about anything changing or being deleted. The next part, or let's go, we'll talk about when students load, the assignment submission folder, and grading deadlines. So when do students load? Well, they load one day before the course is scheduled to begin. So for fall 2017, students will load to your course on August 27th. So just make sure that you are ready to welcome your students by utilizing the announcements page feature and the discussion board. Another thing that has changed is our assignment submissions folder. If you click into the modules area of the sample class, you'll see that there's an assignment submissions folder alongside the module for every week. If you click into this assignment submissions folder, you'll see that there is assignment link for every assignment in the class. There will no longer be a link in each weekly module to turn in papers, but instead it'll all be a one-stop shop here in this folder, which is nice because students can see every assignment that will be due throughout the course, and they can see the clickable rubrics, which are attached to every assignment link. Please just don't alter anything in that assignment submissions folder. Here at Baker Online, we've had a grading policy over the past year where our faculty are required to return grades and feedback on individual assignments throughout each week of this course within 72 hours of the assignment deadline. That means if you have an assignment that's due on Wednesday night at 11:59, you must return grades by Saturday at 11:59, which is 72 hours. Now, across the system, we have a policy for 72 hours of returning final grades and feedback for the course ending within 72 hours. So this is you turning in grades in the transcript utility by Wednesday at 11:59, because our class is on Sunday now. Make sure you fill out all those clickable rubrics because they're tied to direct measures. We want to make sure that we support you in any way we can, so we've created a faculty layer discussion board on Ready, Set, Go for any questions you may have. So make sure you check that out because we're all monitoring that and ready to help whenever we can. That is all I have for you for this Ready, Set, Go professional development session on quarter to semester conversion. Please make sure you copy that Google Forms link into another browser and record your attendance through taking a short survey. If you have any questions, please make sure to contact Julia Kiter or myself, and we will make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you and have a great day.